What's up guys and welcome back to another Wynand Crypto video. The US Treasury just added RLUSD to their stablecoin watch list and we need to talk about what this means. Plus, Ripple is about to become a bank. This is the end game we've been waiting for. Brad Garlinghouse dropping truth bombs about stablecoins, Cathie explaining why Bitcoin is exploding like gold, plus some exclusive XRP and Finastra connections that will blow your mind. This video is packed with value, so smash that like button and let's dive in. Let's talk about what happens when stablecoins grow in the Treasury market with an expectation that stablecoins will continually being backed by fiat assets and tokenized money market funds. The portion of USDS held by these issuers will correlate with their overall growth. When these stablecoins expand, they need more treasuries to back them up. That's why Scott Bissett called them crucial for America's national security. If the bond market collapses, we're all screwed because the US dollar is the global reserve currency. The Chinese yuan, 90% stays in China and isn't used for global trade. The Great British Pound has the last financial crisis not made it less trustworthy. Canadian and Australian dollars just not used globally at scale, so the US dollar remains king. Now imagine if Ripple acquires Circle. We're talking $61 billion in liquidity, game-changing, and about that $50 billion offer rumor, you guys. That makes zero sense. Why would you jump from 5 billion to 20 billion? Anyone who's ever negotiated knows you increase incrementally, not 300-400% in one jump. Ripple has top tier negotiators, trust me on this. Here's the bombshell. Ripple's becoming a bank. I'm not talking about just another tech company. This is the future Federal Reserve wrapped in blockchain technology. Bookmark this video. Most people think Ripple is just about cross-border payments. They are wrong. They're building the entire infrastructure layer for a new financial system, and getting that banking license is the final piece of the puzzle that unlocks unfiltered access to global money. So what happens when a tech company becomes a bank? Direct access to central bank systems, ability to issue loans and credit, custody assets, legal power to handle both fiat and crypto, seamless CBDC integration, and complete elimination of intermediaries. Some say Ripple isn't just partnering with banks, they're positioning to replace them. I think that's a bit extreme, but the partnership strategy is definitely strategic. They're already prepared. Regulatory clarity from the SEC case. Eleanor Terret believes they're finally walking away from the Ripple case on Tuesday. Thank God. Global payment corridors across 70 countries and CBDC pilots in Bhutan, Palau, Montenegro, and more. I believe some of these pilots in smaller countries have become actual CBDCs. They were tests to prove the technology works before bigger countries adopt it. Think about what this means for everyday people, you guys. Imagine working an hourly job and getting paid every hour you work instead of waiting 2 weeks. Whether you make $10 an hour or several hundred based on your skill level, that's how cheap payments will become, and it will literally change people's lives. Places like Palau that don't have widespread credit card use will benefit massively from having stablecoins on phones. Look at Ripple's connections. They're tied to the biggest financial institutions in the world: ISO, IMF, Internet, the World Bank, ISDA, and I would add CME Group to that list. The network is massive, connecting them to the world's leading financial institutions. Why would Ripple even want a banking license? That is a great question. So basically, they get instant legitimacy, global access, and regulatory immunity. Instead of fighting regulators, they become the infrastructure regulators use. Plus, they can issue Ripple-branded stablecoins beyond RLUSD, offer institutional custody, become a gateway for tokenized real-world assets, legally hold reserves in multiple jurisdictions, and act as a digital clearinghouse for CBDCs. Imagine Ripple getting banking licenses not just in the US, but also in places like the UK and Europe. People are asleep on how huge this is. You still don't believe it? Ripple already acquired Metaco, a custody firm trusted by banks. They're expanding into real estate tokenization and trade finance. They offered $5 billion for Circle, the USDC issuer. They're aggressively hiring for regulatory and compliance roles. The evidence is piling up. Now imagine this scenario. Ripple gets a digital banking license, launches Ripple Bank with custodial plus DeFi services, holds treasuries, issues credit, moves dollars on-chain, connects directly with the Fed and SWIFT, and becomes the back end for CBDC distribution. Just think about the chances of this happening compared to winning the lottery. The lottery is 1 in 300 million, right? But this, with everything we know about Ripple and XRP, the odds are way, 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 way better. This is my lottery ticket. I'm taking a leap of faith based on 5 years of research. I don't know the future of what will happen, but my research has led me here. I have to trust myself. If I don't, I will never forgive myself. You need to trust yourself more than listening to others too. So, CBDCs, stablecoins, tokenized securities, real estate, XRP is at the center of all of it, and Ripple is acquiring Hidden Road. It's the prime broker connecting DeFi to centralized finance, exactly what we've been missing. We are there, people. Listen to Brad Garlinghouse on stablecoins.
I'm not sure is the short answer. I think stablecoins as a category, I think, have a role to play, particularly in domestic settlement. I haven't yet seen exactly where the U.S. is going to come out here. Other countries around the world clearly are doing more ahead of the U.S. and how they're kind of approaching central bank issued digital assets. What's confusing to me is why do we need 10 different US dollar stablecoins or 20?
Hey, I'm recording on a Sunday to get this content for you. If you're getting value, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. I think a lot of you really love the channel but forget to hit like. Please do it. I appreciate it. Now let's talk about Bitcoin to gold ratio.
And then finally, always like to talk about Bitcoin to gold. And again, gold going parabolic did take this ratio down, but you'll notice that it did not break the uptrend that is in place and that we think will remain in place. Bitcoin did act more as a risk-on asset in the market's recent correction. It behaved like the NASDAQ, unlike gold. But we believe that it was just correcting to this trend line because the Bitcoin price went up so much more than the gold price last year. So we think that this trend line will continue to move up if we're right that we're moving back into a risk-on environment. Now, the gold, why did gold act as risk off, but Bitcoin not do so? I just described one reason. Bitcoin was way ahead of the gold price. So that is one reason. But I think the other reason is we weren't in a financial collapse like 08, 09. And the banking system was, or the counterparty risk in the banking system was not called into question.
RAF Economist reports that Sacra valued Ripple at $15 billion last November. Remember, Ripple isn't rushing to IPO in a down market. They want perfect timing. But honestly, I think they prefer staying private because they can do more without reporting to shareholders. They don't have to answer to shareholders and can keep things on the DL. Now let me share something from the ultra early stage crypto investor that caught my eye. You are part of that 1%. If you brought everyone in the world together and put 99% on one side and 1% on the other, that's you. You see something others don't. That's special. Whether you have a few hundreds or a few thousands to invest, make smart decisions because you could turn it into something life-changing. Remember, the guy who sold 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas, that's over $1 billion now on 2 pizzas. Banks are already biting their nails about how much DeFi will eat into their profits in the next few years. The adoption rate of crypto around the world is growing faster than internet adoption did in the early days. That's just insane to think about. Everyone uses the internet now if they have access. The same will happen with crypto. Even if people don't realize it yet, they're using it. They will just notice their payments arrive instantly and cost way less. Now check out Ripple's partner Finastra saying it's the first time in history that all payments are moving to digital. It's a very profound change and it's a great time to be in payments because there's never been a time before in our industry where we've moved from analog payments to digital payments.
In our industry, it's probably the wrong way of looking at it. I think the real issue that we have here is it's a very profound change that we're going through. And it's a great time to be in payments because there's never been a time before in our industry where we've moved from analog payments, because that's what everything has been before, to digital payments. And instant payments around the world are pretty much all now being deployed as digital instant payments. And that makes a huge, huge difference. And I think, therefore, that paradigm is probably the most important thing. We talk about instant payments, but actually, if you juxtapose the two, we're really talking about the move from analog, as I say, to digital. And that is the most profound piece. So I have some rock stars. of the...
Their payments connectivity marketplace is revolutionary. Various cross-border payment options exist, but it's no easy task to connect to new payment rails. The process often includes costly and complicated integration work, with vendor onboarding taking many months.
Cross-border payment options exist. It's no easy task to connect to new payment rails. The process often includes costly and complicated integration work, with vendor onboarding and implementation taking many months. How can your bank quickly implement a new payment rail while reducing costs, increasing revenue, and win back customer loyalty? Welcome to Finastra's Payments Connectivity Marketplace, a carefully curated marketplace of payment rails designed to connect banks to pre-integrated payment providers. We've done the hard work for you. Our marketplace includes best-in-class, trusted payment providers that we've pre-integrated into our total messaging solution.
And look closely to the providers they show. 2 of the 3 are Ripple enabled. The third has worked with Ripple on countless projects. If your company works with Finastra, ask them if they're using Ripple. Let me know how the conversation goes.
It's your choice which providers to use. Our transformative technology allows you to reach the countries and disperse payments via the endpoints your customers demand, so you can remain focused on your business and not the burden of a heavy technical integration. Our seamless, pre-integrated solution means there's no integration work for your bank and no technical resources are needed. What it does mean is fast onboarding, all while delivering exceptional payment services through a growing number of innovative payment providers.
Remember, you shouldn't only watch XRP, but you should also invest in it. If you want to long or short XRP, go to Wynand Crypto, and on this video, you're going to find a link to sign up to BTCC to be able to trade Bitcoin and XRP and other cryptocurrencies. And you guys, with BTCC and only my BTCC link, you can get a limited time $10,000 bonus on your first deposit. This is where I open all of my long positions and all of my trades. I think it's a fantastic place to be trading, so make sure to use my link down in the description below if you want to sign up and start trading XRP. I would be really thankful if you guys support my small channel with just moving your funds from your old trading platform to BTCC and then just racking in that huge bonus. It helps you and me. And if you own XRP, do your part, show your support. I love you all, and I will see you very soon. Until the next time, Wynand Crypto out.